Hello and welcome to this next video of the series where we're checking out submissions to the Dungeoncrawler Gamejam of 2023. And this time we will have a look at Space Crawling by FrankieSmileShow. An entry for the Dungeoncrawler Gamejam. Could not really finish it on time, unfortunately. Although I am pretty happy with what I did there, it's not at all a complete game. Lots of missing features and unimplemented stats and items. Move with WSD and QE, spacebar opens doors and escape brings up your management menu. Go back to the airlock to visit your ship, where you can shop and recruit new crew members. Reform your party to switch the new crew in. As you explore the shop, inventories rebuild and new recruits show up. The screenshots look very interesting, so yeah, let's have a look and jump into the game. And here we are in the game. WSD QE for movement, spacebar for action, escape for the menu, G to search for items nearby. Okay. A dungeon crawling horror game by Francis Colum for the Dungeoncrawler Gamejam. A warning, this is a very janky prototype. Lots of broken mechanics and missing features. You don't even choose actions when you fight right now. It's all auto battles. Yikes! Okay. Alright. So we have our 3 characters. Crew, shop, storage, explore. Crew. So mouse is not implemented, it seems. You have to do everything with keyboard. Okay. And you have to do it with WSD. It's not working with arrow keys either. And this also seems like you're selecting... Okay, let's just go one by one. What's crew? Recruit. The portraits look awesome. Mechanic. These cost credits. Okay. Let's recruit Exozoo. Okay, level 5 mechanic. I'm not sure what... I don't know what mechanic actually means, but... Ahead as a screwdriver. So he's a mechanic, he has strength int. Okay. Yes, recruit. You welcome Exozoo into your crew. Okay, cool. Available. Let's go back. Inspect crew. Okay, these are 5 people we have, but 2 of them are not in our active party, it seems. Inventory, equipment, fire crew. I don't want to fire them. Reform party. Dallas. Ah, okay, so the active crew is actually the one in the bottom right. Which makes it even weirder. Okay. Back. Shouldn't it be the other way around? I also cannot reform them again. Now I'm stuck with the guys there. Okay. Shop. Yeah, there's a huge... tons of features which probably would have made sense to just scrap the whole inventory, for example. Yeah, I don't know what any of this... I mean, obviously there are weapons, and maybe some do more damage than others, but I don't know if I need any of those. So leave shop, storage. I've got medikit, auto broker. Okay. Give. Dallas. Broken helmet, give. Finlay, Pistol. Goobaboo! Goobaboo. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if that makes any sense. Okay, explore. I don't think that I've got any people in my crew. You died. I think the interface is doing the opposite that it should have done. Let me restart the game and then we will just try and run around without any of the management at the start. So I hope that the game... Yeah, okay. So yeah, we just ignore all of this now and we just go exploring. Which also doesn't work. That's just a wall. Ah, no. Okay, this is a bit weird. Because... So... The perspective is very odd. Okay. So my characters are fighting the enemies automatically. That's actually not that bad. I mean, I think I would prefer that option over clicking on enemies like it's done in other Jam games, because that basically is more RPG-like in a sense that you optimize what your character's doing and you're just managing the stats and so on, and you're not actively clicking and reaction time and dancing around enemies. So I actually like that. But yeah, back to the perspective. We are basically crawling around the floor. Maybe that's intended that way, but I doubt that. So all the way we can basically see back to when it's black. That's just one tile, right here until this thing. This is one tile. Maybe here. Yeah. This is one tile. Now it doesn't look that bad. But here it looks like the tile you're standing on is too far in. I mean, if that was just until here, that would have been fine. Or maybe even just here. But it's going much too deep, and so you basically are almost running blind. You can see what's left and right of you. So there is a wall there and there, but and you can see that there is... I'm not sure if these are random encounters. These seem to be cooldowns. Okay. Bank electronics. Okay. Yeah, so the perspective is not great. The camera would need to be elevated a bit. The controls, I mean, the speed is perfect. It's queuing, or it's executing. You can hold the key to move forward, but it's not queuing up any commands. Instead, it's actually doing something weird. Let me... Yeah. So... Yeah. That makes no sense. It's probably an error. So, I usually test whether what happens if you go forward and turn left at the almost the same time. As soon as you go forward, turn left. And this game makes the turn left key into another run forward key. So forward left makes you run forward twice, which makes no sense, of course. So that is broken, I guess. Yeah. Alright, let's explore the dungeon here. And these seem to be random encounters. Not enough space. So let's go back and sell some of the junk. It's also weird that here we need to bump into that, but the door and so on we need to open with space. Okay, let's go to the shop and sell some items. Sell items. The junk. And electronics. Okay. Can we... Let's leave the shop. Crew. Inspect crew. Equipment. Here's the screwdriver. Also, in the one which is marked is always the Sloan, no matter. Yeah. Yeah, this is always the one which is highlighted here as well. And if we go down, then nobody's highlighted. That's probably also broken. He has 3 arms. Do I see that correctly? Now he's got a pistol, but I don't think that he has ammo. Well, maybe I can just give him the dagger as well. Yeah, the Reform Party was broken, I think. So we can hire someone, but there is... Yeah, they are in the crew, but we can't put them in. Yeah, the portraits are really cool. I don't think that... Yeah, I can't access the inventory. So... Can I use any items somehow? Inspect crew? Shop. Buy items. Leave shop. Storage. So he has a medikit? Do I see that correctly? If we go to crew, inspect, Sloan, inventory, medikit, use, that seems to be, and use maybe on Sloan. Sloan awkwardly used the medikit on Sloan, who regained 10 life. Okay, so you can use items. But of course it's extremely cumbersome to use that. It's behind like 10 options. And did we... 1 second. Inspect crew, Sloan. Inventory, medkit, use, Sloan. And this also seems to be somewhat broken. I think I used the item multiple times now. Maybe there were different charges, but it didn't feel like it should have been. Okay, so I guess we were just... I also guess that maybe this or that was supposed to be a minimap or something. At least it looks a bit that way. Maybe it's just like graphical style here. Let's run around a bit and maybe we will find something interesting here. Ah yeah, for example, a different environment and different enemies. Auto broker. Oh, and the planet in the background. And you died. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately it's really unfinished, and with pretty much everything you do, you don't know whether or not it's intended that way or it's something is broken. So yeah, and of course some mouse controls would also be nice. Essentially what I would like to see now more is like the other graphics and assets there here. So the guy who created this game, the FrankieSmileShow, he has also done the art for Barclay 2, and this is also super gorgeous art, so have a look at that. So great pixel artist, and I think that this game would also have potential. I mean, you can see that it's tons of stuff in here with character management, different stats, items, but it's like tons of things which are still being worked on and not finished. So it's really nothing is really working. It's everywhere. You have there is like the first step is being done, but there are like 3 steps to complete that thing. So yeah, unfortunately, as game, it's not really working. So yeah, I mean, regarding the art, it's fine. The controls, as I mentioned, they are. I mean, we can even run around if we are while we are dead. The controls would need to be fixed. The turning and the movement speed is fine, but queuing up doesn't work. Instead it's just turning the turn into another move forward. The perspective, I think, would need to be changed. The camera needs to be the height needs to be higher. That would also change like the not curvature, they're a bit tilted to the side. Unless, of course, you want that your crew, that the appearance is that you're tiny and this is like you're basically ants or something running around here, or little squirrels or something. So the perspective, I think, would need to be changed a bit to well, to be like in the standard of the genre. The combat mechanic, even though it was mentioned on the at the start or on the page that it's auto combat and this is a bad thing, I think it's actually working well. So I actually like that that they are doing everything by themselves. Yes, it's removing the whole tactical aspect from the combat if you compare that to a turn-based combat. But it also removes like on the other jam games, you have just clicking on the enemy, and that's basically how fast you click or something like that, or dancing, which is sometimes just exploiting the engine, and you can't really do that. So I'm fine with that. The auto combat is fine if you have some adjustments there. Maybe you just at the start of the combat you can do little things like how aggressive you want to be, or I mean, you do equip them with different items and so on. Also, it seems like these the fights, they are just random encounters. I'm not a fan of random encounters generally, and the more random encounters, the worse it gets. But I think that the speed, how fast the combat is going with this auto combat, it's also diffusing the issue with auto combat a bit, because it's just, okay, another combat, and it takes 5 to 10 seconds and the auto combat is done, and you don't need to attack, like attack this target, attack this. So it diffuses the issue with auto combat, and it makes it quicker, so that I'm kind of fine with. The combat is actually not bad, if there were more components working towards that, I think. The sound composition is also fine as a background ambient thing, and there were sound effects which are kind of basic but were fine. Theme implementation, I don't see any. I don't know if there was any. I mean, you can always just make up some stuff, but I don't think I have read anything about the duality, and so yeah, I would think of making something like exploration and combat. That's duality. Yeah, you see this. So I would say that's basically lacking, or it's not implemented. But yeah, unfortunately the game it's too unfinished for anything really. But that's my feedback about the game so far. I would like to see more, like explore this area, and yeah, maybe. I mean, if that was a game like where you're playing around with like a group of aliens exploring planets and meet. Like landing on planets and running around, and if the game is then not like combat focused but more story focused, meeting weird aliens on weird planets and talking to them and going back to your ship, maybe selling some loot and equipping your characters and so on, I can imagine that this is a fun game. But now this is more going on in my head than it's actually in the game, which you can see. So yeah, depending on how this, if this project is continued, I think it could be interesting. So either way, great artists. So make sure to check out the artist FrankieSmileShow. That was a space crawling, and you can find a link down in the video description to all the jam entries. You can also find a link with all the other videos I did for the game jam. But that's it for space crawling. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.